So if you're a small or medium-sized content creator like me, and you feel like it's just a constant fight against the algorithm, I've had some conversations with some very successful content creators, as well as kind of going directly to the source, and I wanted to share some of that with you today. So first, I want to talk about going to NAB or conferences in general. In the last 3 weeks, I've had the opportunity to go to NAB, the National Association of Broadcasters, as well as to WPPI, which is the Wedding and Portrait Photographer Conference. I had a great time at both those conferences. I learned a ton, and it reminded me that immersing yourself not just in the process of kind of doing what we do, filming and editing and posting and engagement and content and comments and algorithm, all this kind of stuff that we think about and talk about all day long, that sometimes it's nice to take a break, step away, but still learn and grow in those areas. And so that's what I've been doing. You might have noticed I haven't posted as many videos in the last couple of weeks, and that's where I've been. So my first kind of mini tip is to take some time for yourself to recharge, but also take time to immerse yourself in other people's strategies, talk to people who know what they're doing, and get advice. So that's what I did while I was at the NAB show. I saw the Petapixel guys, Chris and Jordan.
You again.
You guys are my favorite Canadians.
I got to see Maddie Hapoya, and one creator in particular who I was actually really excited to run into was Anthony Gugliotta. I hope I'm saying his name right. So if you don't know Anthony's work, he is a brand photographer and an influencer, content creator on pretty much, he's everywhere. He focuses not just on like his own brand identity, but tips and tricks and things to help people be better, but it's still entertaining, and his short form content and his long form content are both exceptional. He works with huge brands. He's got 500,000 YouTube subscribers. He's got 250,000 followers on Instagram. And so I saw him and I took my shot, and I wanted to ask him some questions about being a successful content creator.
So as somebody who started, I've like watched you solo creator, like your house, your studio, your edited station, like it's all one little room, right?
That's how I know you walk.
What do you think is the number one thing that they should focus on? Skill? Is it marketing? Is it networking?
I would say just getting out and doing more as much as possible. So I'm fortunate that in the Toronto area there is a lot of events, a lot of other creators. Depending on where you are, there might not be other creators. Even if you're like a sub-niche, at least if you can find like one or two other people, even if they're not like, I want to be a YouTuber, or like, I want to shoot photos, I just want to get out. It's the fun thing that I'm doing in my free time.
Yeah.
Working with them, you're not like trying to be like, yo, I want to work with Peter McKinnon. It's like, well, he's probably busy. You know, he's probably doing his own
hats,
thing.
leather.
Yeah, you know, pirates. Like the same mindset, the same level as you. Finding someone who is similar in what they like to do, but also finding someone who is similar in mindset and approach and the energy that they bring to the content that they make.
So more about building a village, less about like gear acquisition and skill. Just do experience, get people around you who do the right thing.
You summarized it perfectly.
So while Anthony's work at NAB and what you've probably already seen if you're following him on various social media platforms like here on YouTube wasn't about gear or the algorithm or which hashtags to use or hooks or catchy titles. And not that that stuff doesn't matter, but you have to drive yourself forward in the work that you're doing in any sort of creative capacity. And to do that, you have to have the people around you who are interested in some of the same things, doing some of the same work, and kind of at the same level or position that you are at. As much as I would love to hang out and collaborate with Anthony, right, we are in different strata in terms of our followers, our subscribers, all that sort of thing. And that doesn't necessarily mean that I wouldn't be able to learn from him or he couldn't learn from me, but you want that push-pull within a group dynamic that allows you to kind of continue to advance together. Learn from each other as you're growing at similar levels. So I loved that advice from Anthony because honestly, at that exact moment that I ran into him, I was feeling kind of down, right? I hadn't posted videos on my YouTube channel in a couple of weeks. It wasn't really a lot that I wanted to do. And I had found that the show was it just wasn't engaging me in the way that I was hoping. There just wasn't anything that was grabbing me. I had actually texted my wife about 30 minutes before I ran into him saying that I was kind of feeling a little restless, not really sure what I should be doing, not getting a lot of inspiration, and I thought I was going to pack up and leave. And as I was walking towards the door, I saw Anthony. And his words kind of reinvigorated me to continue at the show and thinking more about ways that I can improve my own content creation, which I'll talk about at the end of the video, because that actually, it was serendipitous. Not only that I ran into him, but that he said specifically what he said. So Anthony, if you're watching, thank you so much for that. Thank you for your time. And I want to let you know that your words literally had an impact on me just a few hours later. Next, and also from my time at NAB, I had the opportunity to go to their creator lab. This is a whole area in the South Hall here at the Las Vegas Convention Center where they had creators and leaders and executives from various companies and services and just from various companies and groups and creators and all that sort of thing, talking to just about everybody about changes in the market and what to expect. And the one person who I have absolutely wanted to listen to and interact with, or at least have the opportunity to kind of absorb from, is Renée Ritchie. Now, if you're on YouTube as a creator, you probably know Renée as the content or creator liaison for YouTube. He's been there for a few years now. I know Renée Ritchie and was first introduced to him way back as a host on a podcast from Twit Studios. He was a host on MacBreak Weekly. But he's a podcaster, video creator. He was the editor of iMore. He's done a lot, and he definitely has the kind of credentials that you would expect to be someone who could work at YouTube as a creator liaison. So Renée was on a panel where they were discussing the algorithm and kind of doing a Q&A. And while I'm not going to play the whole thing for you, I do want to give you just one little clip from something that Renée said.
A thing we like to say, which is any question you might have about the YouTube algorithm, reframe it as the audience and you'll usually get a better answer.
And I have been thinking about that ever since. If you're struggling to understand the algorithm, algorithms in general, right? If you're a content creator, your life is run by algorithms. Don't think about it as the algorithm, think about it as the audience. Every company, no matter what their goals are, is to get people to watch, get people to engage, and give them a positive experience. Because if you do that, they're going to come back. If you make videos that aren't what they expected, they're not going to come back. If you make videos that are jarring or significantly different than what they wanted, they might not come back. If you make videos that are poor quality or don't engage or entertain, they might not stay. So you see post after post or blog after blog or video after video that says, I've got that one thing that you need to make sure you're doing to whatever. And what I learned from Renée's talk and from this Q&A session was you need to think about it first from the perspective of your audience.
Does the algorithm care how often you upload? Does your audience care? Does the algorithm care about technical content? Does the audience care?
And traditionally, what these companies building these algorithms want is for the audience to stay. They want to engage and they want to like it. And they want them to come back. So if your videos get people to stay, regardless of the specifics of the algorithm, you will succeed. If you post a video and no one watches it, or if you post a video and a lot of people watch it but no one comes back, those are signals to the algorithm that you are not going to fulfill its goal, which is to bring the audience. Now that doesn't mean that having catchy titles or having good thumbnails, having tight structure, or having videos that are of a specific length isn't going to light up parts of the algorithm around your content. But that's because the algorithm has learned that those things bring, keep, and return the audience. It was so nice to get an opportunity to listen to Renée talk about these issues and field questions from folks who are just trying to make it work in this creator economy. One other thing that he mentioned as an answer to a question that I thought was really insightful was if you've done a lot of shorts and you've built up an audience and you want to move into long form content to generate more revenue, what should you do? And the answer there is kind of think about it like two different audiences. There's going to be a part of that short form audience that's going to move to long form and vice versa. But traditionally, if you are cultivating an audience that likes short form content and then you start producing long form content, don't expect the audience to just move over. And since the audience probably isn't going to move over, algorithm isn't going to move over either. So you have to do the work to build the audience that is associated with the content that you're creating. Now, am I doing any of those things? I don't know. I'm thinking so much now about the work that I'm doing and whether or not I'm actually doing half of the things that I'm telling you about. But I learned it, I'm thinking about it. I thought I'd tell you so you can think about it. The last bit that I wanted to share in this video, and I know that this is probably going to go on long, I'm sure there'll be lots of mid-roll ads, is at the beginning I talked about running into Anthony at NAB and that I was feeling a little disheartened and not really sure kind of what I should be doing there. And he said that one of the best things that you can do is find other creators who are at your level and interested in the things that you're interested in. And I actually had someone recognize me, and that then introduced me to this group of creators.
Hey, just want to say, great job on your videos, bro.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
We kind of had the opportunity to sit there and talk.
What? Did we just become best friends? Yep.
And I think more me picking their brains, so I think I was keeping them from something, so I apologize if that was the case, if you guys are watching. I cannot express how impactful it was for me to just have a 15-minute conversation with these fine gentlemen who are YouTubers and creators about their experience and about how they've created community with each other. Now, they're not all in the same city, they're all over the place, but they basically communicate via their comments back and forth. And I just thought that that was so cool. So I want to give these guys a shout out. You should absolutely go find their channels and subscribe to them. The first is Kyle Watts. He is a cinematographer, filmmaker, audio engineer. He does travel vlogs and stuff. Next is Paul Feinberg. This is actually the person who recognized me at the booth. He is awesome. He does a lot of tech reviews. You should absolutely check out his channel. Also, Corey Dickerson from Freaky Tech Reviews, and also is Christopher Cozy. I think it's Cozy. His channel is Cause Tech Reviews, and I've been commenting on some of their videos. You should do the same. You should find all of these guys, and you should follow them. They are great. And they're all creators that are around the same kind of subscriber count level as I am, maybe a little bit higher. I think these are maybe aspirational subscriber counts that these guys have for me. It was super, super nice to be able to interact with some other creators who were just kind and nice with their time. And I was able to just kind of bug them for a little bit, which I really appreciated. Because I admitted, and I'll admit to you, that when it comes to community in aspects like this, I'm bad at that. I think that's a neurodivergence thing, but it's something that I'm working on. So if there's one thing that I've learned in the last week or so, especially my conversation with Anthony and then subsequently me running into these four guys at NAB, is you do kind of have to get out there, which I'm bad at. I'm much better just kind of sitting in here in my office with my lights and doing my videos. But you got to get out. You got to do the things. And when you do the things, you run into the people, and then the people teach you how to be better at doing the things. I think that's the thesis of this video. And if you are a small or medium-sized YouTuber who wants to interact, I don't know, what are the best ways that we can all kind of chat with each other? If you're into videography and photography and cinematography, maybe you're a freelancer or a photographer like me, or just a content creator talking about tech and gear, and you want to interact with other people, while I love the comments idea, I almost feel like that's not really the most efficient way to do it. Tell me down in the comments, what's the best way to do this? Should we just put it down in the comments? Obviously, you can hit like and subscribe. Those are the signals that YouTube is looking for, especially if you watched to the end of this video. That's the kind of signal that YouTube is looking for. Watch some of my other videos. I'll have more stuff coming out soon about my time at NAB, as well as some of the work that I've been doing over the last couple of weeks. While not creating content, I've been creating tools and workflows and process using AI and scripts and all that sort of thing to make this easier so that I have more time to do the kind of community interaction that we're talking about. So thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.